ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on this week's episode, we'll be talking about the movie Lee Cronin's The Mummy. But of course, before we get to any of that, I am joined today by not sick Nathaniel Gingrich.
I'm not sick, man. I'm fine.
Vitals 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eye test doesn't matter here. All right, we're playing Moneyball. Just look at the numbers.
Like an island of misfit toys.
Sure.
It's a line from Moneyball. Remember?
Yeah. It is funny, that movie, which we should get on the podcast at some point in time. Good movie. But just how like blatantly misrepresented that team was in the movie of like, no, they don't mention they're like
they're lockdown starting rotation.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say like one of the greatest starting rotations
homegrown absolute killers.
I think one of their pitchers won the Cy Young that year. So yeah, that does help when you have a rotation like that, but it's just never even mentioned in the movie once. Yeah, good movie, doesn't matter. I mean, based on a true story is always a loose interpretation, so doesn't matter. And it's also like a great kind of introduction to baseball for like non-baseball viewers. Like
it is a
movie where it's like
it is a baseball
kind of get
movie.
A little taste of what it's about, and kind of the mindset of players in the game and how the transition into the more analytical and stat era that we're in now.
It is a baseball movie that is a very easy watch for a non-baseball fan. There's not a lot of lore in it, and it's like actively like trying to teach you as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's definitely good.
Yeah, very, very solid. Also joining us today, it's Big Tomb BlakeHolder.
Yeah. What up?
I couldn't think of any B words, so I was just like, whatever.
Blake, would you want to be?
I could have gone with Beetle. They got the I don't know what it's called.
What are they called? Scarabs?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Blake, when you go, are you going? Do you want to be put in a big tomb? Are you looking for a cremation and then put in a tree? What's the plan here?
Yeah, the old death question. Honestly, I think I'd rather be cremated, man, and just like throw my shit in the ocean somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As far as which body of water, couldn't tell you. Maybe I'll have that
Lake Michigan,
that plan. Yeah, maybe I'll have it that more thought out later on in life. But as far as like how I felt the past few years is like, honestly, dude, like just cremate me, then just like put me somewhere in nature, like either a fucking water, by a fucking mountain, off a cliff, something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, is sky burial, where they like just chuck your body up on one of the mountains and let the birds take you.
It's not bad.
Is that real?
I think so.
That's interesting.
I think I want to be like made into a tree, where like they plant a tree and I'm at the bottom of it, you know?
Yeah.
That's my early thoughts. Who knows? I haven't given much thought to it.
I have.
But I think that would be cool.
I'd like to be split up evenly and distributed around the globe as a elaborate treasure hunt.
Oh. Okay.
How many pieces are we talking? Are we talking like 8 pieces?
I think it's 7 in Harry Potter, right? 7 Horcruxes.
No, definitely more than 7. Fuck Harry Potter. Maybe like 12. You know, one for each continent.
Well,
now speaking of,
I don't know if that. I think there's 7 continents, man.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating by this point.
Antarctica, it's going fast.
I'm anticipating by this point we've colonized Mars. And we've got a couple more up there. Right. I'm also operating perhaps on the theory that wherever my body is, I get to haunt in a post-life sort of idea. So now I get a couple different locations rather than being stuck at one house.
Do you get to be like one of the good ghosts? Right. This is actually a conversation Haley and I had the other day about horror movies. Like, not all ghosts are like the evil, demonic. You know, it's like there's some ghosts that maybe try to help some people out. So like, are you the ghost that tries to help out
I think, yeah. I mean, in
your
my
neighbors.
headcanon of how life after death works, it is the the idea of like, are you carrying stuff with you? And I try and gonna hopefully leave this world as peace with it as possibly can, so that I'm just hanging out for the most part. So I'd like to think that I'm a memory and a good a smiley time. You just you think and you go, that was Nathaniel. He was a good dude. And then I move on and maybe, leave you like a lighter or some matches or something to hang out.
For sure, yeah. I hear you. I hear you, man.
Listeners might notice that we're missing a member tonight. Tyler Dallas is unable to join us. However, he is planning on seeing the movie still and giving us a review, so this is not going to be a bit of sizzle up. We'll get it up and ranked at some point, and we'll give you guys our ratings / rankings of the movie after our review, which, speaking of, let's get into it. Nathaniel, if listener here is new or maybe they've just forgotten, can you give them a rundown of how our review segment works?
Oh, hey, folks. Hey, if you're new or perhaps you've forgotten, the way the review segment works here on Back Row Banter is it is split into two sections. There is the non-spoiler segment, and then there's the spoiler segment. That's pretty self-explanatory, and that is by design. Because in the non-spoiler segment, we're going to go into who wrote it, who directed it, who's in it. We'll basically talk to you about the IMDb page. We'll talk to you about the IMDb summary and decide if it's even good or not. And then we'll decide if we recommend the movie. Got to be a yes or no. There's no nuance on the internet. And after that, we are going to give you a spoiler time, noise, and warning. And you can check the show notes to see when the spoilers run so that you can come back and see where we rank it up on our Entropy list, which is our big list of everything we've watched on the podcast ranked. But probably not this week because we are missing our boy Tyler. So at some point, this will be ranked. At some point.
Yeah. We'll give you the preliminary ranking of just our three, and then you can go from there.
With all that being said, Adam, tell me about Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
I would love to, Nathaniel. This is a new movie rated R with a runtime of 2 hours and 14 minutes and an IMDb rating of 6.4 out of 10. Would you guess that it's written and directed by Lee Cronin?
The Evil Dead Rise's own, and nothing else I've ever seen.
Yeah. Interesting that he put his name in front of it in that way.
According to the IMDb, the producer Jason Blum of Blumhouse did.
Mm-hmm.
But
he did. Okay, he did it for him.
Yes, that's according to the trivia there. But who knows? Either way, regardless, what we have to take from the text is that it is Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Yeah. In case you forgot who directed and wrote it. The cast includes Jack Raynor, who returning to the podcast, I don't know for how many times, but you might recognize from Midsommar.
I could probably tell you.
Well, yeah.
I think it's only once.
Letterboxd.
Oh, yeah, he's got Letterboxd Pro.
Yeah, he's got the Letterboxd Pro.
Letterboxd Premium.
Yeah,
I may have to get on that.
Give me a minute.
I also might. It's like $20 a year or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
good value. Yeah, good value. I don't think looking at his IMDb here, I don't think there's anything else I
don't think so either.
Is in.
Only other thing I know him from is like that 4th or 5th Transformers movie.
I was just about to say he's in Transformers. That's pretty much the only thing I'd recognize. So Jack Raynor, I think it's Leia Costa, May Kalamawi, and then Natalie Grace. I think we got Shiloh Molina and Billy Roy. That's kind of our main cast. I guess I'll give a shout out to Veronica Falcone as well, who has a relatively prominent role, and then I think I'll leave it there. Yeah. The IMDb summary reads as follows. The young daughter of a journalist disappears into the desert without a trace. 8 years later, the broken family is shocked when she is returned to them as what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare. Okay. I mean, I want to clarify that there's kind of a trace. There's somewhat of a trail that he follows for a little bit, and then after that, it kind of disappears. But there's
a very, very literal paper
misleading.
trail. that he follows.
There's a second trace actually. There's actually two trails that they follow at two different points in the movie. So I don't know if Disappear Without a Trace is fully accurate. But either way, that's your summary here. This is not really canonically tied to any other Mummy franchise or movie. Really.
No, it's Lee Cronin's The Mummy. How dare you think it's anything others?
This is solely his own creation. And boy, is it something. What are your guys' thoughts?
I feel like I know what yours are, just kind of the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm just gonna leave it for you guys.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'll go first. I'll kind of jump in front of it here. Winning blind as always, as how we always say, and yeah, overall, like, not can absolutely be trimmed down. This movie's not need to be 2 hours and 20 minutes, whatever it is. Right?
Yeah.
Let's totally get
we
that
can get that out of the way. That you could shave 40 minutes off this movie pretty easily.
For sure. Love.
Did Markiplier edit this?
Yeah, love Jack Rayner. That's awesome. In terms of the actual plot, though, I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's nothing new for those of us. I don't know if this is spoilers, but like this is effectively Lee Cronin's like second Evil Dead movie, right? It's like from the way scenes are shot, where you have people in the foreground and in the background. It's like 100% this is an Evil Dead movie. That being said, and it's incredibly long. That being said, you know what? We don't get a ton of mummy movies in the horror genre, the horror subgenre, right? So like that alone gives it way more points than it should have, if that makes sense, right? So fundamentally, not my favorite horror movie. Nothing groundbreaking. Not really bringing anything back here. It's effectively an Evil Dead movie disguised as like an Exorcist movie, disguised as a mummy movie, right? Slapped with Lee Cronin on top of it. But the last mummy movie we got had fucking Tom Cruise, and it was stepped on 50 times before we got to watch it. So just for that alone, that's fine, man. We've had two mummy movies since like 2005. I'll take it. That's my final stance. I can't get up here and praise the film, but that's kind of my brief thoughts. I'll pass it to the group. I'm anticipating much harsher reactions than I have.
Yeah, I didn't like this.
I figured, man. It was. I kind of feel the same way.
And like, I hear what you're saying, but like, it's almost more because of that I'm more offended. Like, how are you gonna take the like most basic ass possession tropes and throw them on and slap a mummy sticker on top of it and tell me that that's the mummy? Like, that's I don't know. No, I don't like it. I'm sorry. Put it back where it came from. Lee Cronin, he can take it back. Yeah. My man loves his split diopter. That was my first reaction on this. And yeah, so much of this just didn't make sense at a certain point, not even from like a lore or like how things are happening, but just in a like, you just showed me a very climactic and potentially like earth-changing event, but then in the next scene characters are reacting like nothing has happened.
Yeah.
For some reason. And then it just continues.
Continuity is
it is just wild in this joint. We made an editing crack earlier about the length of it, but I just mean editing of flow and storytelling in general on this thing is jank. Yeah, I think the cast is doing an admirable job with what they are given in this. I don't think it even works all the time, but I can tell they're trying. And sure. It had so much potential, and I was very disappointed as well too. I think is part of it. I also am very recently off this. I saw this earlier today, so this is a bit of a fresh reaction as well too. I might not have all of my thoughts maybe as concretely together as I normally would on this pod, but yeah, we're getting a little bit of a fresh reaction as well too there. So this is like this is an example of a 2 out of 5 for me. I'm looking at our Letterboxd here, and I got Blake's score and your score, and I feel like I'm pretty firmly in the middle between both you guys. So that's where
What did Blake give it?
He's got a solid 3.
Wow. Okay. Blake muted his mic, stepped away for a second, so I don't think we have him here to defend himself, but
yeah, I'm a not recommend.
Yeah. Well, I would say I'm going to echo your sentiments, Nathaniel, but I'm actually going to amplify them quite a bit here because this movie is terrible. It's bad. It's really bad. I did not enjoy much of this movie. I think the not necessarily the cold open itself, but I would say like the first 20 minutes like had me somewhat intrigued of the setup that they had. I was like, okay, this could maybe go somewhere. And then they just absolutely lost me. Just it's way too long. Like just way too long.
Yeah, it is.
Like obscenely long. Like we lose that detective character for like an hour, and then all of a sudden she comes back and is an integral point of the story. We just full of dumb writing decisions of. I think my review on Letterboxd was basically like quoting the doctor being like, all of her vital signs say she's 100% healthy, so you should probably take her home. Don't mind the fact that she needs to be heavily sedated or else she's gonna freak the fuck out, but she's totally fine, I promise. It's like that's just so dumb. And I'm not one to nitpick on that front a lot, but it was just obscenely stupid of like, okay, well then everyone in this movie I just assume is just dumb. And that trend continues throughout. I don't think, and sorry, that was a little bit of a spoiler, but like not really. I mean, that's it's a horror movie. You can kind of guess. Man, we talked about the editing decisions. It's not only long. There's definitely some just questionable things done throughout the movie in terms of like just cuts that I'm like, why are we here after this previous scene? Like,
and what happened?
We were just exactly. We were just building momentum. Like there was a lot of action happening, and now we're in a completely different part of the movie. Like it just so disjointed.
Well, and just characters presumably in the same house, but are for some reason in no way connected to one another.
Right.
Like nothing is there's someone could be screaming bloody murder in what is supposed to be upstairs, and then like downstairs they're like, well, it's time for tea. Here you go.
Yeah,
like
100%. Everyone's so removed from each other somehow. And then on top of that, I just don't think this movie is very scary. I was never scared.
I would agree. There's
like
I agree.
No, maybe there's a few jump scares, but it's like nothing I haven't seen. You're right. It's an Evil Dead movie. I mean, and I wasn't a big fan of Evil Dead Rise, primarily because just the body gore is just not for me. And that, isn't a big thing. But like that movie is overall better than this one in terms of story and building tension and all that stuff.
I would agree.
This I'm just not scared at all. Like and none of the plot, none of the scares, none of it. To your point, Blake, you're like, oh, like we don't get a lot of mummy movies, so it's got some points for it, and that's true. I really wanted this to be like a really unique kind of horror movie where we get some kind of unique scares that are related to the mummy. I didn't see anything in this movie that I was like, oh, I've never seen that before, or oh, that's an interesting way to make the mummy a horror villain. It's just like no, like this felt like Evil Dead Rise meets Bring Her Back, and that was it. And then it was 2 hours and 14 minutes, and all of a sudden, I'm an hour in. I'm like, just make this stop, dude. This is brutal. Yeah. So I mean, I'm fully out on this movie. I hope I never have to even think about it ever again. This is terrible. Don't go watch this, please. Don't even watch it on streaming. Like, I don't know. There's just so much better stuff to watch out there. It's disappointing. I will say to your point, Nathaniel, I do think the actors in this movie, up and down, are trying their hardest. I do think that. And there are some decent shots and stuff. Like it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but man, it is rough. Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I don't know if we can go recommend all around. Like I'm kind of on the fence for it. I think I would word it as, if you're walking into this with the expectation that this is similar or a follow up to the Brandon Fraser Mummy movies, you should not watch this by any means.
No,
right?
not
Go
even
watch
close.
those instead, please.
Yeah, and I think some people may have kind of had that preconceived notion, right? Like going into this and you're sitting down and say, oh wow, this is totally different than like even the Tom Cruise joint. They're all kind of like horror action based, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um
Adventure though.
and yeah, adventure films, thank you. Adventure films. This isn't any of that. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, this is not the movie. Please don't even bother wasting your time. If you're I guess if you're a big enough horror fan and you just like watching horror movies, I would say go check it out. That's how meh I am about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's this idea of the Universal, as in the movie studio, like horror icon monsters, right? And you got like Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, Wolfman,
Yep.
and like
Invisible Man.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. You know, and in that time, those were that studio's like biggest blockbusters, and that's how they got their start and everything. And I think, like, as a fan of movies and of film history and stuff, there's like a part of me that always roots for those key franchises and that kind of idea and overall. And I feel like I was definitely excited about what this would be, and definitely felt like, because of that part of me, because even though it is Lee Cronin's The Mummy, if you're gonna call it The Mummy, like you're still putting that name on it, like it should have some sort of kind of, you know, like you're telling me that that's your offering kind of thing. So I'm gonna come at it with a certain amount of intensity or and I don't know, criticism, whatever you want to call it, but it just, yeah, it didn't really work for me very much. It felt like it cribbed from other things, and like I kind of, and it's frustrating because I see the bones and I understand where the idea is, and like there's even, I think, these kernels of really good ideas in there, particularly with the storyline of the daughter and kind of how that's set up and the time jump and all of that. I really think it can work or could have worked. But it's kind of this doesn't really commit and goes instead for some old ideas that don't necessarily fit, instead of coming up with new things that would make it more interesting or more unique, I feel like, at this point.
I agree.
Like, yeah, there's we'll talk about it more later.
Spoilers? Yeah, let's do it. If you have not seen Lee Cronin's The Mummy, it sounds like, are you a recommend, Blake?
Try to be yes or no.
Three stars on Letterboxd.
I'm gonna say, yeah, man, check it out. Go watch horror movies, man.
Yeah, don't let us influence you. Like, this is this you should absolutely stick to your guns on this one.
Yeah. Go watch a mummy horror movie, man. Who cares?
Watch Bubba Hotel.
Better than watching yeah, just go do it. I don't want to say the wrong thing and shit on another movie. But yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, check the episode description if you don't want to listen to spoilers.
What should our spoiler sound be this week, fellas? Oh, let's do some crickets. They're kind of like bugs, you know.
Oh. Yeah.
So shit goes down.
Crickets for 2 hours and 14 minutes instead.
That's a fucking wild statement. I disagree with you there, but I appreciate the sentiment.
At least I could like meditate like a monk and like do something. I mean, I was close. Like, if I didn't have to sit through the whole movie, I might have walked out.
You ever had a cricket like near you when you're trying to sleep? They're not meditative.
Not like within a house, but like, you know, sleeping with the windows open in the burbs, you'd hear crickets at night.
Yeah, fair enough. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Anyway, shit goes down. Don't care about any of it, but it happens, I guess.
What point did you check out?
You know, that's a great question. Because I really did like the cold open and everything. I honestly, it might have been the that scene with the doctor once they find her, where it's like,
see, at that point,
it's like, hey, take her home, man. She's good to go. It's like, dude, she's been missing all this time, and she's clearly not doing well.
Because they had set that up earlier with the police officer being like, you always start with the dad and like the family and like that kind of like, this is foreigners kind of bringing stuff to our problem kind of thing. I still bought it as kind of like, just make this go away so it's not our problem anymore kind of thing. And that's more what they were kind of selling it to them as. Like, that in my mind, that was a thought I had afterwards as to why that, because I had the same kind of thing where I bounced off of it, where he said like, she's locked in and you just have to wait until it gets better. And I was like, I know locked in syndrome, because locked in syndrome is one of the most terrifying things I can imagine happening to someone. Which, if you don't know, is where you just basically you cannot move whatsoever, but are conscious of it. And basically may only be able to like move like an eyelid or something, but you cannot communicate basically either that you are there. So how do you know if you're there or not? But then immediately is like, yeah, she'll be moving around and hopefully she'll come out of it kind of thing. And I was like, this feels like you're just saying things you Googled on the internet to make sense for medical talk.
Sure. Yeah.
But again, I felt like, oh, okay, well, maybe it is this idea of we as the police at this point have just found this girl in a coffin that's been missing for 8 years. We just don't want anything to do with this anymore. Please make it go away.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, but then, I mean, it keeps going.
I'm not saying
one thing after another.
I'm not saying I didn't hop off soon afterwards,
Yeah.
but like it's, I wasn't off yet at that point, and I apologize because I asked you about when you got off, and then I picked you a fight with you about it.
That was definitely the peak. That's when I started going downhill, and then it snowballed from there. Where it's just like, okay, once they get home, it's like, okay, I can really tell you the rest of the movie. Like, she's, it's slowly but surely gonna start, weird shit's gonna start happening. It's gonna get worse and worse, and oh no, she's attacking the grandma when she says amen. It's just, dude, I was just so bored more than anything. And I was kind of looking forward to being like, oh, what does a mummy horror movie look like in 2026? Like, maybe we'll get a fresh take on something like this. Like, at the end of the day, Evil Dead Rise wasn't for me, but this guy still knows what he's doing in terms of filmmaking. Like, maybe he's got something unique to say or do. And there was absolutely none of that here. I mean, absolutely nothing that I watched was something I hadn't seen in other horror movies. So yeah, dude, I was just bored out of my mind. And then on top of that, just bad filmmaking in terms of the editing and the pacing of the movie, and just some, rough story decisions. I mean, yeah, dude, I mean, there's just so much not working here, and it just fell off. It fell off the rails quick. And then I still had like an hour and a half left in the movie. And that's what ultimately dug me even deeper.
I did have a moment when I was watching it where I was like, okay, I like looked at my phone and I was kind of like, okay, I've been here this long. We got to be about 10 minutes left in this. And then the movie went on for another 30, 40 minutes at that point.
Yep.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Blake, do you want to jump in and give it some defense here before I move on to another criticism I have?
Yeah, I mean, no, you guys are all right, man. And for as much as I want to get on here and advocate for the film, like it is challenging because, in short, yeah, this is a copy and paste slop horror movie, right? Where this is you get your child possession, she's talking in weird voices. Yeah, you get your Insidious, Exorcist, Conjuring, child possession, floating children.
Yep.
Right.
Last Exorcist.
Exactly.
What is
exactly? You get the spreading of this quote unquote mummification possession.
Yeah.
Right, through bodily fluids, kind of like your Evil Dead.
Yep.
Right. You get that going for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like those are things that I knew how Evil Dead-y, quote unquote, it was going to be from kind of that cold open where they have I can't think of the exact term of the shot, but it had the mom holding the bird. And then you see the family in the background.
It is a so split focus is the most common time you call it, but the tool that you use is called a split diopter.
Diopter.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lens basically, which allows you to have two things in focus basically from different lengths.
At different depths.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Very evil.
So yeah, like once that happened in the first 10 minutes, I was like, okay, I think I know where this is gonna go. Right. That was like textbook Lee Cronin's Evil Dead. And yeah, so like that's kind of where I'm at. It's hard for me to defend a lot of this. In terms of Adam's point of it's not really scary. I would totally agree. I don't think there was a single time where I was scared in this movie. But I've kind of gotten over the hurdle, right? Of I don't think every horror movie has to subjectively scare me. I think kind of the themes just kind of have to be in there. But if you're a veteran or seasoned horror moviegoer, I don't think this is going to bring anything to you where you're like, oh shit, I've never seen that. I've never seen that take. And you get your cookie cutter characters, man, where you have characters making god awful decisions, right? To your guys' point, you have something going on in the basement. The person in the kitchen above them doesn't even fucking notice it. We have somebody breaking the fucking floor from the basement. They're in their main floor. There's a whole party, essentially, right? A morning session, right? Wake.
No one smells the rotting floorboards, apparently.
No one sees
notices the flies
through the fucking ceiling. You know what I mean? It's like you just have a ton of bad character design, man.
The daughter being slammed against the door for a point, and then it just disappears. It just moves on to the next scene, and nothing ever happens with that again.
Yeah.
She's just possessed at that point.
With that though, the lights are flickering.
Right.
Then you get Jack Rayner's character in the basement, and he's like, and this is after we've already seen the daughter fucking headbutt the grandma, run through the crawl space, eating insects, skin peeled off. They've went to a professor, right? They had the cliche, you go to your expert.
Oh,
they
man,
went to their local
that was
professor.
just I could not believe that was where we were going with that at that point. I was just like, what fucking year is this?
Yeah, that's a 2005 horror movie pool, right? You go to your local college professor,
and find the archaeology professor, and then it's always the "I'm not here as a student" line.
Yeah. Sign up sheets outside. Yeah. I'm not here as a student.
What
do you
kind
know
of
about
story
these?
are you working on?
Yeah,
a private one.
So you get all of that, dude. It is kind of rough. It is kind of rough.
It was really at that point when he brought that up where I was, and in that scene in particular where he has got her strips of skin basically. Yeah.
That was cool though.
So
sorry to jump in and cut you off. When the skin pulls off and there was text on it, I was like, oh, I like that.
So that's
you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was gonna say, where I had that exact moment. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And then it just made me go, oh wait. Autopsy of Jane Doe is such a great movie. I should much rather be watching that instead.
And Adam, have you seen Autopsy of Jane Doe? Great movie. Great.
Yeah, I was just like, it made me go, I haven't seen that since Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I wish I was watching Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Mm-hmm. Much better pacing, better characters.
Yeah,
one set location, and it's an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
so totally agree. Yeah.
And yeah, so then and that was, I guess, just part of my point was there's so much this movie takes from other movies and other things where I wouldn't even be so mad about it, I guess, if it didn't then just call it The Mummy as well too. That I think that also bothers me. And then to the point where when I was watching this movie, I was just kind of asking myself internally, okay, well, what's scary about this scene? What's going on here? And then it's so often it was oh, well, we're afraid because similar to Undertone a couple weeks back, we've now got this person that has something wrong with him that we have to take care of, and we don't know what to do with that necessarily anymore. For mercifully, a short part of this movie is about that, but then it then goes into more extreme kind of horror for the characters, except it doesn't. I feel even an Evil Dead movie, someone's coming out of the end of that movie missing an arm or something like that as well too. Everyone in the family is so safe in this as well, and that kind of thing. Excuse me, it's not that kind of thing. And they are far too protected.
Oh, the grandmother's the only death.
Grandmother's the only death, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everyone else is just possessed, and then you would assume
that was honestly in terms of
yeah.
like the horror-esque like scenes and stuff, one of the better ones of the movie. Of,
Didn't
like,
hate
her
it.
just getting yeeted out the movie or yeeted out the window,
And out
and
the
then
movie.
she gets back in bed and was like, "Oh, how did that happen?" That kind of thing. And then it gets eaten by the coyotes afterwards. Which
I didn't expect that. That was
I didn't expect that.
I was like, oh,
I didn't expect that.
And then
However, I
the
was
teeth
like,
I loved too. Afterwards, with
Oh,
the
sure.
little girl with the teeth, I thought was one of the best parts. As
oh,
well.
she takes out
Yeah,
the
that
grandmother's
was nuts.
dentures right
Yeah.
from when she's in a casket. Yeah, I agree.
That was a nuts move. But the coyotes they threw in there, I was like, okay, maybe the coyotes like sense the unnatural presence in the house, and like
Yeah,
maybe we'll get some kind of like supernatural like animal stuff happening, and maybe they try to like interfere with the mummy or attack or something like that. No, just there to eat the grandma when she
I
falls
agree.
out a window, and then we don't hear about the coyotes again.
I agree.
Just-
They kind of
just-
set it up to
What?
that point, Adam. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Every new one that comes out, man, it just makes last year's Him grow higher and higher in my estimation. It's
Of
starting
what,
to,
horror movies?
the movie Him from last year. The
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are-
it's just,
what are you trying to argue here?
I'm saying that it's getting better and better with age. It's aging like a fine wine at this point.
Yeah.
That has all sorts of things that it was building to and never got to for me, but sure.
But at least it's doing something different. Like it's at least
I mean,
like
okay, you
know, like it's
Yeah,
got
it's a
crazy
swing, it's a big
visuals. Like
swing.
it's doing something else.
I'll
It's
give you
it's
that.
doing something with like modern culture that I feel like is very like of the time and that kind of thing.
Sure.
Like I feel like to this movie's credit, it is trying to do something different with the mummy, but like at this point, the concept of the mummy itself needs to be like blown out and atomized to a level where we got to come at this thing from a completely different like point of view on it. It needs to be like a Sinners level or something, and that's just like the most recent kind of example I can think of it, where it's like it's just a different imagining of what
Fundamentally, it's different.
Yeah, a different imagining of what a mummy is, what it takes from, and like again, the bones of this, like the idea of like my daughter was kidnapped and they come back later and they're different, and like 8 years is such a weird time period. I think that's such a like extent thing where the kids are so different from where they are at that age to like what comes back and that sort of thing. Like I think those are a lot of that's really interesting, but it just doesn't ever do more with it. It just does what it's seen other things do, and that's where I just
I agree with that, man. And I think when we begin to talk about runtime on this is where you get into there's so many like convoluted plot points that don't really get expanded on. Like even them touching on the local police investigation that's going on in Egypt. It's like interesting, but like they almost don't dive into it enough because it's almost not interesting enough. If I'm making sense, right? They don't really dive into it enough. And then it's almost like it's put in place just so they can have her show up in time at the end as the only person who can translate the text from the video.
She's supposed to be the professor from the local university, but
exactly.
It's just that same
that's the
role.
only reason it seems like the detective is in on it, right?
And also she travels all the way from Egypt back to the States.
Yeah.
Back to Albuquerque just to hand them this video, and it's just could have just
the bring
for
her
sure.
back
And
video.
she's like at the timing's pretty comedic too, because like it's like
it is
the basement shit just went on. The daughter is now like, I think they now have like the second daughter, the baby daughter, right? Who's now possessed.
Apparently, don't see for several days at a time in the second half because they're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, she's like 6. Nobody checks on her.
Yeah,
but
loses
sure
her
enough,
full
the front door
set of
knocks,
teeth.
and it's who else would it be, right?
Yeah.
She's like, hey, like I've got to talk to you, and it's like, no shit, man, my house is fucking going insane upstairs. I hope somebody can talk to me. So yeah, man, I don't know. It doesn't bring a lot, but I think the easiest way for me to sum up my thoughts is the last time we got a mummy movie is what, 10 years ago? The time before that was like 18 years before that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If you're a big enough fan, just go check it out. It's not reinventing the wheel. Totally agree with Adam and Nathaniel's point that this needs to be just completely fucking vaporized, and we need a new fundamental depiction of a mummy. But this is still better than giving us the fucking 18th fucking Scream movie. or the 19th Halloween movie, or just I don't know. But I totally hear you guys, man. But Lee Cronin, I think he should just
his next movie, I don't know, maybe needs a new take on something. Maybe he does like an actual thriller, like nuts and bolts slasher kind of thing or something.
Yeah. It's got to be something, because some of the bones are there, but like it's.
I don't think he's a bad director.
I
don't know. I think this one is just a swing and a miss.
There's even some scenes from here that look like direct Evil Dead, like a direct Evil Dead scene, like when the grandmother ends up becoming possessed after she's dead, and then she's on the kitchen table and she lifts up her skirt. Right, she's on the kitchen table, like kind of leaning on one side, she lifts her shirt. She's like, "Oh, do you want to taste me?" And I was like, "That is a fucking deadite interaction."
Yeah,
1,000,000%. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's stuff that seems like there was probably recycled ideas or scenes that would have been in Evil Dead Rise. Like, hey, how can we push that over into this?
Or if that's just this dude's visual style at this point, that's just how he makes stuff. I don't know. I think the writing, I could see it on the script level being really interesting as well, and I can understand again where they were coming from. I think Jack Rayner does make the same face about 40 times, and there's the same kind of crash zoom on him going.
Yeah, which happens a lot in Midsommar as well.
Yeah,
I think that's just kind of. I think that's just him.
Yeah.
I think that's him. There's a lot of similarities I can see in his character, and his facial expression, his range of acting.
Yeah.
Right. You see a lot of that in Midsommar.
Also,
I do want to say, go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say one of my favorite things about this, and it's the very campy, hokey B horror movie stuff, is when Jack Rayner and the mom, I apologize, his wife, I forgot the actress's name. We'll credit that.
Laurie,
Leia Costa.
Leia Costa, thank you. Where they're kind of going at it, and this is maybe after the second night. So like the daughter's like ran through the crawl spaces. She's headbutted the mom. You can see she's being a little weird. You know what I mean? She's eating insects, and then he's like, I think we need to get her some help outside of this house. And the mom is just like, absolutely fucking not. Like, over my dead body is she leaving? We haven't seen her in 10 years. You think I'm going to let her out of my eyesight now? And that's what I was just like, yep, I know what movie this is. That's where, like, at this point, it's like you're either committing to following the movie or you're just fucking throwing it by the wayside. That was hysterical.
It was in the first, I think it was in the cold open still, where the son drops the doll out the window, and like the daughter rightly is like, "No, I'm mad at you. You didn't even yell at him." And then like as he's walking away, the son's like, "I promise I won't do that with a new baby." And he's like, "Yeah, I know you won't." And he just gives him a high five. I was like, "That's the worst dad in the world." I was like, "That dude's an awful dad already." I feel like they were like setting that up the whole time to then go with like the ultimate sacrifice of being like, "No, I will be the one that carries this burden." And then they like find the lady that again like gave it to her originally, which I don't even hate necessarily as like a revenge thing, but it was just the third ending of the movie already at that point, and I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, this thing is 2 hours and 30 minutes long. Can I please leave? That was my kind of final bits I had about the movie.
No, for sure, yeah. You kind of knew they were going to set it up for that he was going to...
He's a bad dad.
He was going to take over this the possession, mummification, whatever it is. It's really a possession.
Because of course, that's the men's thing to do in life, is to sacrifice for your family.
Exactly. Yeah. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall for that. I don't know. I hear you guys, but it's fundamentally different than any other movie I saw. I would have to imagine there's a lot of people who were upset when they went in and this is the movie they got. You have to imagine. Right, I'm sure there was a wide variety of people who went in anticipating this action adventure type ordeal.
If only
perhaps they didn't know who Lee Cronin was. They just sat down thinking it was going to be another mummy movie, and I'm sure they were a quarter of the way through and like, what the fuck is this? So,
my theater was full.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Did you
So
go,
I
did you
actually
go Friday, Saturday night?
Sunday afternoon at like
Afternoon.
1:30 or something like that. No, 3:15 I think was my show time. And I
You had a
booked
good
it
showing?
the day before or the morning of, and it was like me and like 2 other people, and I show up and the theater's full. And I was like, is this even I almost walked out because I was like, am I in the right theater? Like,
yeah. I hear
I
you.
thought the shit was about to be empty, but no, it was full. And the movie had like just started. Like I maybe missed like 30 seconds. Because I could tell it was like just the beginning. And I was since
Playing
we
that
don't watch
absolute
trailers
banger
and
of a
anything, I
song.
was like, am I in the right theater? Because I don't know what this movie is supposed to look like, who's in it, whatever. It's a cold open too, so it's like
Yeah.
actors that aren't even in the rest of the movie or any of the promo. And the
Yeah.
theater's full, and I thought it was gonna be me and maybe a dozen other people. And so I sat down and I was like, I hope I'm in the right spot. And so it took me a minute or two to be like, okay, this is it. But yeah, I was nervous. I was like, did I just walk in the wrong theater?
Yeah. Did anyone else think this movie was loud as hell, or was it just me?
Might have just been your
Yeah,
theater.
could have been your theater. I didn't
Okay.
particularly think so.
It was too bad.
My theater, the sound design for the film is actually pretty good. However,
Yeah, it's not bad.
and very, I don't know. The volume was. I saw it at Streets of Woodfield, and wasn't somebody else complaining about volume recently? Was it Nathaniel?
Yeah,
or
I
Adam
think
at
it was me.
Undertone?
It was me.
Undertone.
Were you at Streets of Woodfield?
No, that was definitely Barrington, I think. Oh, well, maybe
Okay.
I did see it at Streets. No, I saw it at Barrington.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time where I was like, this movie is like, this is way too loud.
Mm.
It was almost.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, from my limited understanding of how that stuff operates, like I think that's mostly a theater side thing because they can always adjust the volume. Now in terms of mixing, that's obviously the movie side.
Yeah.
Like if you can't hear certain people talk or whatever, but volume wise, most of the time that'll be if just everything is too loud. That's usually on the theater, I would say.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. You guys done talking about it, or I guess any other
dude,
comments?
I mean, I was done talking about it before we even hopped on to record. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So, yeah, I'm ready to put this behind me. Unless we have anything else.
All of the no, I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, you can. You're more than welcome to finish your thought, man.
No, it's not worth it.
Not even worth it.
Yeah,
It's not. You're right. You know what? I'm glad you gave up because it's not worth it, Nathaniel. I can tell you right now. Nothing in this movie is. Let's rank it. Welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and throw up Lee Cronin's The Mummy up upon our Entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the Entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of all the movies we have reviewed on the podcast, ranked all up against one another on one fantastic list, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else. This is essentially how we rate our movies, rather than do it at 5 stars, at 10, whatever it is. We throw up all the movies we review and see how they compare to one another. We now have this list in tiers, so once it is ranked, it is going to get automatically placed into one of 7 tiers to give you a better idea of where it's or what its ranking reflects for the quality of movie. If you want to reference the Entropy list and the tiered version for yourself, you can do so by checking the episode description, where it is linked to both my Letterboxd and a little Google Doc. Good old-fashioned Google Doc tiered list. Can't go wrong. Maybe one day we'll find a more sophisticated way of doing that one. But yeah, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, gents. As we mentioned at the top of the show, we'll give our rankings here, but I don't know what Tyler's going to rank it. So the official ranking will go up whenever we hear from Tyler. Don't know when that'll be, but for now, we'll give you guys our rankings. I'm not going to scroll up super far here, guys.
Well, let's see. D tier starts at Ferrari 210.
that's
Ends at
crazy.
Quantumania. F tier is at Godzilla King of Monsters to Purge. And then you have the money laundering tier, which I don't know if this is. Adam may have it there.
It's not there. It's not. I did give it a thought for half a second, but no, I think that would be offending this movie. I think Lee Cronin himself has enough sauce in this to make it not money laundering, but man, it's not far off.
It's disrespectful that High Tension's down there.
Dude, honestly, that's what I just shook my head at. High Tension is below The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. That's fucking disgusting, dude.
Whatever.
Just from
that movie is so bad.
Sauce standpoint.
I actually scrolled. What's the fourth Conjuring that just came out? I don't know, last year.
Last
Rites. Whatever it was. Last Rite. Thank you. I just scrolled across that on Amazon Prime the other day, and I was like, I can't even imagine myself watching this shit. And that was on streaming.
Yeah.
So just, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's what I just shook my head at. I was like, I can't believe High Tension. That's
come July.
I know
Blake,
you don't
we
like
make
it,
the
Adam.
push.
They may have to. Like, this is below a lot of shit, dude. This is below Borat, the second Borat movie, bro.
Movie was good. It was entertaining.
A COVID fever dream, if there ever was one.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Below Wonder Woman 1984.
All right. you got a case to
Below
make it in
Exorcist,
July.
The Believer.
All right.
Come
all
on,
right.
fellas.
Which brings me to my ranking.
Okay, yeah. Exorcist, Believer. That's a good comparative.
I'm going 239 above Exorcist, Believer, below Godzilla, King of Monsters.
You think this is
King of Monsters?
I can't do my guy Godzilla like that. He is better than this.
I mean, this is not Wonder Woman 2017 is not a worse film than this. I'm sorry.
That's a good point. I also agree that I'd never had 2017 that Wonder Woman that low.
I think that's Tyler taking
Tyler.
that one.
That's Tyler sinking that early, and I think it has sunk too far. That's
100%.
But yeah, that's kind of where my immediate thought was. To put in context, other things around there that are kind of like in a similar vein. You do have Halloween Kills, a couple below. We have Halloween Ends, a couple above, which I would argue probably makes sense for this movie, at least in my kind of feelings about it. Recent ones, I mean, they still Undertone's probably 10, 15 above that. I think My Love of Mummies made me like this more than Undertone, but like I would say that they're kind of a similar vein for me in some as well too. But yeah, that's where I've got it. I've got it below the King of Monsters, above Exorcist Believers.
All right.
Adam?
I don't know, dude. I don't even care. I think I'll go 263 below Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and above Project Power.
260. So
I mean,
below
dude, this movie sucks.
above High Tension. You're trolling, brother. You're trolling, brother. I know you are.
I mean, if I'm gonna put it below High Tension, I'm gonna put it below The Purge too, and that goes all the way down to 266. So like we can go there.
Do you just want to make it the bottom of F tier, or do you think it's money laundering?
Shit. No, I don't think it's money laundering. Like I don't think it's quite that bad, but it might. I like The Purge better than this.
Okay, that's sure.
So you know what? Yeah, fuck it. 265. It's going as the bottom of F tier.
So you do want to mark it as you're putting that
it'll be the
265, but bottom of F tier, not the top of money laundering.
It is not top of money laundering. I don't think this movie is that bad. That's reserved for special movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I think I'm kind of in the same ballpark as Nathaniel, so a little bit higher than Adam here. And I think what I see, I think my appreciation of it being a mummy film, and like I keep echoing, the last one we saw was a Tom Cruise film that was stepped on 20 times before we got to see it by the masses. So that's carrying some weight. That being said, I see like the remake of Candyman at 23, like very forgettable.
At least the Tom Cruise one had the temerity to ask, "What if a mummy was sexy?" You know,
which one?
The Tom Cruise.
The Tom Cruise one. Yeah. What if you had a sexual attraction to a mummy?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Only Tom Cruise, man. Tom Cruise can pull anyone.
Yeah, how else would you get Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise
in the movie?
kisses a woman to death in that movie.
That's illegal. That's against his religion.
It's the only time he's kissed a woman on screen in the last
bring
like
that up,
15
yeah.
years. Yeah.
That's what 2016, 2017,
Yeah.
some shit like that. Terrible movie.
He wouldn't even kiss Rebecca Ferguson.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I know where I'm at though. I mean, I think King of Monsters is definitely my cap. That's a movie that I think should be significantly higher. One of my favorite Godzilla movies, just off the strength that has King Ghidorah in it. But I'm gonna go. Were you 230? Were you 239 just above Believer? I think I'm gonna match Nathaniel because this is above Believer just off the strength of it being a mummy movie. Believer's fucking ass. Like, give me an Evil Dead ripoff before I'm watching Exorcist Believer.
Talk about a movie that doesn't do anything different with what it's got before it. And again, like if you're gonna put the Exorcist name on something, you best come correct. Like,
yeah, no way. So yeah, I'll match Nathaniel.
All right. Well, again, we don't have Tyler's rankings, so we don't know the final version of
what is that average is that though.
But our current average for just the three of us is 247.66 repeating. So we will put that at 248. That'll be below Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and above Antlers. Antlers is better than this.
Yeah, I could have a discussion around that. I'd probably have to rewatch Antlers to give you like
Antlers,
a real answer.
I remember being so hyped for that. I just don't remember anything about it. That's the other thing about that movie.
That's Jesse Plemons, right?
It is. The only scene I remember is like they go into it's almost
that, like cave system, right?
Yeah, it's almost like that underground where they do like some sort of like coal mining or something.
Yeah, it is definitely a mine.
Right.
Yeah, that's like the only scene I remember. They go in there and they have like the child's father who's kind of turning into the Wendigo thing. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
5-year-old movie. But yeah. That's fair. I could live with that. You could absolutely talk me into Antlers being better than this, Adam, to your point.
I think it is.
However, you could not talk me into this being better than High Tension. Not even close.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, unfortunately, another one of those ones that just makes you think of other great movies that you could watch instead.
Yeah. Genuinely. Well, anyway, let's stop talking about it. I'm done. Our next review will be of the movie. Surprise, listener. It's your favorite host, Postbot Adam, giving you an update on what we're watching next week. What I was about to just say on the recording is that we are going to watch the movie Game Night from 2018. That plan has changed. You know what? Things change sometimes. Life happens. Life changes. Movies change. What we're watching next week has changed. Game Night will remain on the short list, so we'll get to it at some point. But instead, we're going to watch the movie Speed Racer from 2008, which was recently re-released in theaters. It's currently streaming for renting on your Amazon Primes, your Apple TVs, so you can find it in miscellaneous places. But check out Speed Racer and then join us for our review next week. Anybody watch anything fun?
I've been watching Scrubs.
Yeah, that's not new though. You've been on Scrubs.
I am. I'm on season 6 at this point.
How many seasons?
Well, they got the new one is I believe the 10th, but 9 of what is out now, I believe. So yeah, working my way through that. Been watching more. Have you gotten onto any of the Dropout TV shows yet? Like Game Changer and any of that stuff? It's really good.
No.
Really, really good stuff.
Oh, is that comedy like group thing?
Yeah, they're the old people from College Humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they have a lot of stuff that shows.
They do have good stuff. I've seen clips.
Yeah, that's definitely where they do like most of their marketing is just clips of their shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, they are some truly hysterical stuff. So it's a great like I've got 30 minutes I want to kill before bed or like I've got 10, 15 minutes before work in the morning kind of thing, and I want something that I do not have to think about and I know will make me laugh. And like even when keeping up with a storyline is too much of a thing for my brain to even process at that moment, it is great for that. So
yeah,
big recommend there.
Anything else, Nathaniel?
Nope, that's really been it. Reading books.
We've been watching Adam. Oh, sorry. Go on, Nathaniel.
I just said reading books too, but that's nothing new.
But books?
Adam, you got anything yourself?
Anything exciting?
Oh, I'm reading a book called The Queen right now.
Okay.
Which is told over the length of a single day and is about a girl and a guy who wake up and they have gotten a package. Inside of the package is a phone that is receiving texts from their missing friend. And so they're trying to find their friend or they're following what the phone is telling them to do in hopes of finding their missing friend. Well, simultaneously you are in the knowledge of there's like a unscrupulous businessman in the background who has been experimenting on people, and you know that is somehow involved with what has gone wrong with the friend as well too. And
that sounds good. Sounds interesting.
Man, it's by this guy Nick Cutter. I've read a lot of his stuff. I think I may have talked about it on the podcast before, but his imagery is some of the craziest stuff I've come across in terms of just like describing things in a way that will put images into your head that will just stick there for a long, long time.
Is it like body horror stuff?
Yeah, in that like not in body horror in that like necessarily like for example, in The Queen, in one bit of a spoiler here, but not too much. It's one character's backstory that like when he and his sister were young, kind of similar to this to a movie we were talking about earlier, I guess. That he and his dad was stationed at like this mine in Africa, and there happened to be this like colony or like the biggest colony of ants. Of these certain ants that were that are in Africa that are a real thing was under there, and they get driven out from the vibrations of the mining, and they eat his sister, and it is described in like insane detail. And the character in that time is also a child, so you're like getting it from his point of view as a memory, and it's some crazy stuff. We'll stick with you. So if you think you can handle it, I definitely recommend it. But I don't know if I would start with that one in terms of if you're a bit squeamish and you don't think you would be able to take kind of gore on that side of things. So I'll probably start with Little Heaven, the last one I read of his.
Gotcha. Well, I watched a couple movies. We watched. We needed something lighthearted Sunday night, so we watched Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Okay.
I've seen that one like when I was very, very young. That was like an older brother movie for me with my brother Scott and his friends. And then like I've seen the other two in like bits and pieces. So that was basically like a first watch for me because I just didn't remember much of it. Good time, good fun movie. Still holds up relatively well. The comedy, it's funny watching a movie. I think it's 97, and it's making jokes because they do the time jump of like 30 years, so it's like making jokes of like the 60s. But now that's damn near 30 years ago in a year, so it's like kind of crazy to think about it in that regard. But fun movie. Enjoyed it.
What was it again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Austin Powers.
Oh, it's amazing. I rewatched that, I think I talked about that on the pod. I watched that last year for the first time in so long that it was basically a first watch for me. It is incredible how good we used to be at making comedies.
You don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't. And there's not even like a ton of offensive stuff in there, really. I mean, I'll take that back a little bit because there's some racy jokes, but it's like it's commentary on them almost. So yeah, no, it's good time. Kind of want to watch the other two as well, but we'll see if we get around to that. And then I watched Pineapple Express for the first time the other day as well.
No shit.
Which I honestly was hoping I was gonna like more. I ended up liking, not loving it. Like it was a good nothing. Like it was Seth Rogen, James Franco, like a good time for the most part.
Danny McBride was, I feel like, a big part of that movie when it first came out too, where it's just like that was kind of a lot of people's first, I think, real window into the Danny McBride experience, and he's so good in that role.
He is. He also I mean, he looks incredibly young in it too. So I haven't looked at his IMDb. I'm not surprised if that's like super early on for him. But yeah, I mean, it's a good time. It's a good time for sure. Probably liked of those two. Probably liked Austin Powers a little bit more. But both were good. Both glad I got to both of those. And other than that, Cubs baseball, 9 in a row, baby. See if we
may never lose again.
They may never lose again, except they played the Dodgers this weekend, followed by
they're gonna lose again.
Followed by the Diamondbacks. So, or actually, I think they play with another team in between. But
fuck
yeah,
the
we'll see,
Dodgers.
Man. Yeah. We'll see what they can do. They're playing pretty well right now, but their pitching may have taken another injury tonight. They can now roster a full pitching staff based on their injured list. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the fact that they're winning 9 in a row and they're this banged up, it's kind of crazy.
Isn't that maddening, like in baseball too, where you have like the Mets, for example, their owner is just like one of the isn't he like the world's 25th richest man or something like that, and just cannot buy a team for some reason as well too. Like it is wild the way that works.
Why baseball is such a fun sport, man, and the Dodgers, you can spend all that money and you're still gonna lose some games, still gonna still gotta play the game of baseball.
Well, the Dodgers,
they're the best players, but they're still human.
Dodgers is a true evil empire where they are like they're in on like the ground level in like the Dominican Republic and like Mexico and like have like their academies out there and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and then they can also buy anyone they need to.
Right, they're a well-run organization that also needs to be abolished. I mean, damn. We'll see. Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows what this lockout brings to next year?
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
at least
not going to be surprised if there's no baseball next year. Yeah. I think that's kind of a lot of people are saying that's likely to happen just over how many contentious issues they have to review.
No, it's gonna be bad. And then you saw the thing about Larry Clark maybe a month ago now, was it? Where the head of the MLBPA had to step down because
because of a affair or something. Yeah, that's gonna add another layer to it. So we'll see what happens with baseball. I'm really trying to enjoy this year of it while it lasts. This might be the last of it for a while, and then we can all watch Savannah Bananas for a year.
Or we could do Blake loves the College World Series once that comes around, so maybe we hop on
college baseball. We could start, bootlegging NBP games.
Maybe this is time we get
a month plus of that starts, right? College playoff baseball, something like that.
We're around there. Yeah, we're approaching it.
Probably starts June.
The playoffs. Yeah.
Maybe we get into the Japanese league. They seem to have a good time over there.
The NBP, they got some good players over there, man.
Yeah.
And NPB, I think it is.
Yeah.
Blake, what you got to, man?
Not a ton on my end. Real quick, what I do want to chat about. It's funny you brought up Austin Powers.
Oh, sure.
This is as Adam here's walking off. But as he brings up Austin Powers, that's funny. It's something Haley always brings up because every time she sees Michael Myers in the Halloween movie, she always calls him Mike Myers. I'm like, hey, just so you know, like that's two totally different people. You know what I mean? But she says it all the time. So when you brought up Austin Powers, so that's funny.
I can remember as a child, a friend saying like, "Oh, I saw the new Halloween movie with Michael Myers," and like my mind, it is Mike Myers, and I was I haven't seen that. Why have I not heard of that? That's so weird. What are we talking about? They're like, no, he's a serial killer, and I was like, who are you? What? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's funny. Every time stuff like that pops up, I've got like a small plushie of Michael Myers, or you see like the horror stickers on people's cars, right? That are huge horror fans, right? I'm just like, oh, it's Mike Myers. And I was like, no, babe, it's Michael Myers. So I wanted to bring that up. What I've been watching though, outside of that, man, is just playoff basketball. So I've been watching NBA playoffs. Don't watch a ton of NBA like in the regular season, but once the playoffs come, I'll kind of tune in a little bit. So yeah, watching that a little bit. Been watching LeBron playing. This motherfucker is 40 plus years old, man, still playing quality basketball, and it's just something you just.
I cannot believe
Can he make it to
you'll
50?
go back and appreciate. Like when you're 50 and then looking at it, it's like it's honestly. It's fascinating, dude. It's mind-blowing.
Watching him play against the Rockets does feel like I'm watching like the end of his Last Dance documentary. Like I think this is definitely going to be the climax of like, look what this guy did in his potentially final playoff series without the other two superstars or his other two all-star players on his team.
Yeah.
Like, look at what this guy was able to accomplish at 41 years old in this league.
For sure.
Still fucking manhandling people.
Absolutely, dude. So that's kind of what I've been watching, just the appreciation of that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I guess the thing too was that, like with him, the fact that like he did it like he was anointed as like a high schooler, basically. They were like, this will be the dude. And then he just was like the whole time.
Lived up to the hype and then some.
For sure. Legitimately, it's been one like I've kind of been like back and forth on for a little bit. I kind of probably made my mind up a few years back. But it's almost like the older he gets and the way he still continues to play at a high level, I think he's the best basketball player of all time.
Yeah.
It's like to what we're watching here in the playoffs, man, the guy is 40 plus years old, man, and is like arguably the best player on the court. It's just like fascinating when you draw comparisons to other Hall of Fame players, right, who were playing at even like 38 and just like the level they were playing at. And it's like, yeah, like this guy's like, for all intents and purposes, like not even a player. He's just kind of a body out there for, you know what I mean? But LeBron James is still out there actually playing high level basketball. It's fascinating, dude. So, but yeah, that's all I've been watching, man. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. We talked about this here.
I'd like to see this. I'd like to see the Spurs do something, man. The Wemby injury is kind of unfortunate, though.
Yeah, his concussion, but he's traveling with the team I saw, so he might sit out a game. We'll see. I mean, that guy's a psycho, so he's gonna do whatever he can to.
How did he get hurt?
I didn't see.
He got a concussion. He fell and hit his head.
Okay, I was gonna ask if it was like
in
because
short, he's got a concussion.
When he falls from 7 feet in the air.
Exactly. So it's like it's a lengthy fall. You know what I mean? The guy's like fucking 7'4", 7'5". So yeah, it's tough. But yeah, he ended up falling and
is he the reason we start seeing helmets in basketball?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously most guys use mouthpieces. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty common now. I would say they have like the clear thin mouthpiece, not something as big as like football or rugby or something of that nature. But I would probably go on to say I would imagine most guys have a mouthpiece in, right? Like I know Steph Curry wears one, LeBron James wears one. I'm sure most guys have one. Yeah.
Should I would if I was playing?
Yeah, dude. You just have to. You can get elbowed anything.
Yeah,
so.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, like dudes are just so big nowadays too. Yeah, sorry, I was continuing a thought there.
No worries. Go ahead.
No, just like if you catch a bow from LeBron, that's like catching a 2x4 to your freaking head. Like,
dude. Yeah, these guys are fucking 7 foot tall. You know,
I'm sure most of them are 280, or some of them are moving around in some hefty
people,
weights.
Man. Big people,
for sure.
I mean, I have had the thought of like, imagine trying to guard LeBron on the fast break and you go to take that charge. I mean, that has got to be such a scary sight to be staring at LeBron. What is he, 6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah, right.
And 270 pounds, and he's just charging at you full speed.
Yeah.
Like
this comes up like a weird amount because of like in fighting you, like your heavyweights, who you would think of as being your like kind of scariest people, baddest man on the planet kind of thing. Like most of the people that would be your top heavyweights have probably been auto filtered into other sports by the time they're at that age, which is part of the reason why when Francis Ngannou was like such a big deal is because he like had this crazy story where he came from Cameroon and then France, so he didn't have that opportunity where you're like, oh, this is the NFL, the NBA caliber athlete now through sheer luck in this sport as well too. And it is like just different humans where you're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
for
these
sure.
are people just gifted in completely other ways that you just never know.
Right, because I mean, you got to look at like we're all like decently tall people at like a 6'2", 6'3", but then like even like when I come across somebody who's like 6'9", I'm just like, holy fuck, that guy's tall.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? So
Well,
like,
and then, like,
it's amazing, dude. It's fascinating.
I think NBA players have the reputation, like the people think they're tall and they think they're tall, but they don't think they're broad. And like they're like, no, there are huge people.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Just to be able to support someone at being 6'6", 6'7", like you need to have structure there. Anyways, playoff hockey is also going on. I've been seeing clips of that come up, and that always is good for clips.
Yeah. I don't know. Do the Blackhawks make the playoffs? I would imagine no. I haven't heard of them being good.
They start off the year hot, and I think they cooled off pretty quick. I know they had dealt with some injury, but they're like definitely trending in the right direction. They've got Bedard. They have another young star that's kind of up and coming. I forgot his name, and I've seen a few pieces online saying that they kind of need more of like a veteran presence. Like they're almost too young at this point. If they went out and spent some money on a veteran player or two that could, bolster their lineup, that it would be good for all around development and stuff. I mean, dude, hockey players, like I saw a picture of Alex Ovechkin, who's still in the league.
He's
that guy looks elderly, damn near. I mean, full gray. Like, I mean, he's how old is that?
How old do you think he is?
He's
I don't know,
like 40 something. Yeah.
So you think you can? Is it similar to like baseball?
No,
where like you can play to maybe your low to mid 40s.
My understanding is he is the LeBron, where he is like is the freak that has carried that high level of play up until there. But he is to the point where like he basically kind of like doesn't move far from his area. They give him one shot a night. He fucking buries it in the back of the net and like shoots it at 100 miles an hour at them, and then goes back to do his thing, kind of thing. And everyone claps because he did the thing.
Yeah.
And what team? What team is he on?
Washington Capitals. Yeah,
that's what I say. It was Washington. Yeah,
still there. Did he play his entire career there?
So I'm looking at the playoff bracket, though. I do not see the Capitals in the playoff bracket from what I'm looking at here. No,
I doubt it.
You got Colorado Avalanche versus the Kings, Stars versus the Wild.
Dude, he's only ever played on the Washington Capitals. That's awesome, honestly. Good for him.
Nope, we do have Vegas versus our boys, man, the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh no, Mammoth. I think they're now called the Mammoth, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Did you see the Zammoth?
Is that what they're called?
No, it's a Zamboni that they have.
They made their Zamboni into a mammoth. Dude, you got to look it up. It's sick.
No, I didn't know that. That's actually pretty cool.
Sick. They put like tusks on it. It's like geometrically shaped. It's really cool.
That's cool.
It's got some LEDs on it. Yeah. It's a cool thing. Now, practically speaking, I feel like those tusks. I mean, I haven't seen it in action. Probably might make it harder to drive. Like you might hit that on a wall as you're trying to turn, maybe.
Fascinating.
I don't know if they've worked that out, but
you've got them rolling. You got Edmonton versus Anna. I assume that's Anaheim. That's Anaheim, right? The Ducks.
Yeah.
That
okay, so LA essentially has two hockey teams, which I didn't know.
Kings,
makes sense though.
The Ducks.
But how many does New York have? I guess two, because they have New Jersey
Rangers,
and then the Islanders, right?
Yep. Rangers, Islanders.
New York Rangers.
Oh, there's two. There's Rangers and Islanders.
Well, there's the New Jersey Devils.
And then the Devils.
I was saying Islanders and Devils for New Jersey. Okay. Oh, I didn't know. Do the Rangers and Islanders, do they play in the same place?
I don't know.
Or is it like
outside.
The NBA where like it's like Brooklyn and something else? You know what I mean?
Probably. That's outside my hockey knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think we had a hockey.
Well, Buffalo
combo,
isn't Buffalo in
about a year ago.
Buffalo is in
the playoffs, and that's New York, right?
Yeah, they are. They're playing Boston.
Yeah,
probably some sort of rivalry. You'd have to imagine, right?
I've been seeing some social media about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably big up there in the New England area. Then you got Toronto versus Montreal, Carolina versus Ottawa, and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia are playing each other in the
Penguins.
playoffs too. So they got that's a rivalry. You'd have to
good
imagine.
matchup. Yeah.
Is one dude still playing on Pittsburgh? Was it Crosby? Is that Sidney
I
Crosby?
believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
He's got to be up there too, though, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, he definitely does.
That's a name I've known in hockey since I was a teenager, I'd say.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby, 38. Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, fellas. I kind of got to get going here on this.
Yeah.
overall
Let's
list.
move on out of here. We're still good to. Almost felt like we weren't recording there for a second. Well, listeners, thank you for joining us, especially if you made it this far into the episode. You're our favorite type of listener. We really do appreciate it. Do us a favor and share the podcast with a friend, family member. Maybe not one that's been missing. Like, dude, keep that chick out of here. I don't want to associate with her at all. While you're doing that, follow the show. Follow the show. You can follow us at Twitter or on Twitter at Banter Row, YouTube or Back Row Banter. Our email is backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. You can find me on Letterboxd at H. That's AYYSH. BlakeHolder. Where can the people find you at, my man?
Letterboxd, BlakeHolder, be on there, log some things, rating about 5 stars. PlayStation, Mr. Water Coolers, Xbox, Mr. Water Coolers. Nathaniel.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Letterboxd and Blue Sky, Nathaniel G92 or NS Gingrich, and that'll be it. We'll see you all next week. Until then, we'll BRB.
America. Ready for another lesson.
Well, me and Adam texted about this the other day. The Bulls fired their head coach. Nathaniel, I
Yeah.
don't know if you're aware of that. But yeah, that
I
is,
did not
that is
know
good
that.
news in the basketball world. If you're a Chicago
Yeah,
fan.
so they're
isn't-
looking for a clean slate for now.
The issue with the Bulls, not necessarily the head coach though, but the
It's
GM,
ownership.
the ownership
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
It starts at the top. It starts
For
at the
sure.
top, but at least I don't know.
This
at
is
least they
one
did
step
something
to get in there, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because the coach was kind of stagnant, not really putting together the best rotations.
Are we going back and getting
not
Tom
developing young
Thibodeau?
players again. I would hope so. Honestly,
That's actually that's what Adam texted me about, and I wouldn't hate it because
not
he's not
opposed.
the coach of the Knicks. The Knicks fired him last year, which was crazy.
Yeah, they
Went
got
to
to
the
the Eastern
playoffs, like,
Conference
3
Finals,
times in a row.
and he gets fired. It's just like what the.
How about
the
Mike
heck?
D'Antoni? Is he still out there?
I don't even think that. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's alive. I don't think he's currently coaching
What about-
basketball though.
What about either Stan or Steve Van Gundy?
Yeah.
These are just, again, coaches I knew in the brief period where all I did when I woke up each day was turn on Sports Center, and you just, because that's how you got your sporting news. You didn't have a phone,
Yeah.
and you would just watch the hour. And this was the stuff that I would learn about the NBA when I didn't follow it. So that's all that's left up here.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't think Mike D'Antoni's coached for a minute. Yeah.
Is the coach for the Heat still the same guy?
Oh yeah, Eric Spoelstra.
He's got to be like one of the longest tenured at this point. He's been there for like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. He might
Him and
be the
him and
longest
Steve
tenured.
Kerr have been there for a long
Oh, good
time. I
point,
would say
yeah.
if Pop was still coaching, Greg Pop.
Oh,
eventually
yeah.
coached
I
the
guess-
Spurs for
I
a
just
long time.
assume
And-
he's part of the like woodwork at that stadium at this point, just like become one with the bench or something.
Well,
Yeah,
he
he's got
kind of
some health
has
issues,
with
though.
the organization. Yeah, he stepped away from
Yeah.
coaching, which like we all kind of figured was coming because he was
Yeah.
really getting old. But he's still part of the organization.
for sure. To your point with Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, obviously from the Warriors, Eric Spoelstra from Miami. I would have to bet that Eric Spoelstra is probably the longest tenured coach in the NBA right now.
I think he is.
Steve Kerr is probably
Because when was the
I'm gonna go probably
decision?
2013, 2014. And Eric Spoel's probably been coaching since like 2009, 2010.
I was gonna say, I thought it was
Eric Spoelstra is the
double
longest
digits.
tenured active head coach.
Yeah,
He's
I
held the
figured.
position since the 08-09 season.
08. Wow, yeah. I figured.
So
Wow.
that's borderline 20
following-
years. that's 18.
Following the departure of
dead
longtime
ass, bro.
Spurs coach Greg Popovich, Spoelstra is also the longest-serving active coach across all major U.S. sports leagues.
I was gonna guess that next. I was like, because there's no Belichick, right?
Yeah,
for the
not
NFL,
anymore.
that would
That
have
was
been your
the other
easy
one.
answer. Than baseball.
Terry
mean,
Francona was at the Guardians for a while,
but he was with Boston in 2004. That would have been and then for a while before that.
Who do you guys think is the longest tenured guy in baseball?
Now?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I almost don't even know anymore.
I mean, Dave Roberts has been with the Dodgers for a while.
Yeah, it can't be long. It's like no one I think is longer than like 10 years.
Those seats do change,
especially nowadays.
quickly.
It used to be like Bobby Cox, or it was probably Tony La Russa was with the Cardinals for like fucking 20 years as well too.
Yes,
he finally
and then,
retired.
The Braves coach.
Yeah, Bobby Cox
recently retired and moved. Yeah, so that was probably I don't know how long that was.
That's the one I remember at least, but
yeah.
There was also one like it was the dude that had the Rockies was there for a while.
I'm looking up the answer for MLB.
I feel like the Rockies manager for a while before he just switched like last year. Bud Black was like there.
But didn't you guys say the Rockies
years.
are ass?
They are,
like,
yeah. They're real bad.
For that? And they let him stay there that long?
I think it was quite literally just like your ass. We know you're gonna be ass. We can kick your ass.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
You're doormat for the owners. You know, whatever.
Yeah. The owners don't care. Nobody gives a fuck. Just keep paying them pennies.
Exactly.
We're still making our $4.5 billion.
The answer may surprise you here, Nathaniel. Any last guesses? It's not a name that we have said.
Not a name that we've said.
It's. I'll help you. It's an AL team.
Rays.
Yes, it is. Kevin Cash.
Good pull.
Kevin Cash was hired in December 2014. And he's been with them since the 2015 seasons. 2015.
Wait, but he's not
10 years.
He wasn't the head coach during that time. He wasn't the manager. Because
is the longest tenured active manager in the Major League Baseball. He has led the Rays since 2015, accumulating over a decade of service.
Damn, okay. He must have been the guy they did after Joe Madden left.
Did Joe Madden come straight from the? Well, that would make sense then, yeah, because Joe Madden left.
And
did he come to the Cubs in 2015 or 2016? I don't remember.
Did he have one season before they won?
He did have one season before they won. Then he came in 2015.
I'm trying to think, but like that sounds right, doesn't it? Because then isn't that when they had the try not to suck ones and the shirts, and then they won the year after, something like that.
When did Joe Madden join the Cubs? 2014. So yeah, 2015 and 2016. So he was there from 2015 to 2019. I was close with Dave Roberts. He is the longest tenured active NL manager, hired in 2016. So a little closer on that one. What I have never understood is I don't think Aaron Boone is a very good coach, but he seems to have immunity in
GM,
New York. I don't.
GM it's not. New York's never really managed by the manager, right? You're trying to keep it used to be Steinbrenner, but now it's George Cashman happy.
Right.